the perimeter. Quincy Acey out there with DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Rondo in the point guard position. McLemore with the ball. Now guarded by Middleton. The pass to Carter Williams. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Well, last season, Greg, another year without playoff basketball in Sacramento. A shame to see some of the best fans in the NBA not be a part of the postseason.
It's a great point, Kevin. Now, 9 straight years where the Kings have failed to make the postseason. 29-win seasons aren't going to get you very far when you're battling in the West.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. And Parker, here we go. Can't convert the two-handed jam. On defense, Milwaukee. Knocked away. Stolen by Middleton. Fast break, here they come. And play stops as it looks like they call an over-the-back hit.
Yeah, no doubt about that one with the over-the-back call.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to take him for a ride right there. Easy call.
Sacramento with the ball. 4-point game. It's stolen by Carter Williams. And here we go. Fast break. Carter Williams has got the ball.
And, you know, you mentioned the 9 straight years without a playoff appearance for the Kings. Their last trip was in 2006. And since then, they've been rebuilding. That's the second longest playoff drought in the NBA.
Now here's Gay. Chris Middleton unable to get his last shot to go.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
Here's Carter Williams. And it's Sacramento with the rebound.
Well, if the Kings do make it back to the playoffs, you know they'll be dangerous. Their fans have been through so much the last few seasons. They really deserve to see a team in postseason contention.
And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps?
It's me, eh?
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
The shot by Rondo is no good. And stolen by Gay. Now here's McLemore. Defended by Middleton. And finished off by McLemore.
Everybody stop. I mean, just take a minute to admire what we just saw.
The supreme flush. You're right. Beautiful.
Guarantee you we will not see anything better than that tonight. I promise you that.
Here's Parker. Another miss by Parker.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
That one wide left.
Just cannot find the rhythm. Still yet to hit a shot this quarter.
Rondo drives in. Comes up empty down low.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
The Milwaukee Bucks ended last season 41 up and 41 down, a perfect 500 mark, and they were the epitome, Clark, of average at the end of the season, and as you can see, even during it.
Well, they're a young team, but at one point, 17-17, also had an 11-11 record against the East and 6-6 against the West.
Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Monroe. Henson comes in for Parker. O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Carter Williams. They double-team Curry. Plumlee with the steal. You know, here we go with Bayless. Nobody back. Finished off the break.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
And the Bucks were average last season. I mean, they were 17-17. Also, 77 at home, 10-10 on the road, 5-5 in the games leading up to that. So in every measurable way, they were 500.
Now here's Curry. Shot from 12. No good off the front iron. Milwaukee leading by 8. Mayo kicks to Bayless. Antetokounmpo passes to Henson. Here's Curry, and that's not going to go. And so the first quarter is in the books. The Bucks on top. They're up by 8. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Bucks, guys.
I just like the way they're getting out in the open floor, taking advantage of all those fast break chances here early on.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition.
Vasquez out there with Jared Bayless. Then it's Miles Plumlee. Then it's Mayo. And it's Henson in at the 4th spot. So that's who Milwaukee starts the second with. Here is Bayless. From outside off the mark. Cousins dishes to AC. Back to Cousins. And count the basket. He's fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
You said something?
Hard to contain.
You said something?
To get it done.
What do you say, Tom?
Whatever he has to do.
A different look for Milwaukee. Craig Monroe. He's checked in for Miles Plumlee. Parker comes in for Henson. And Middleton subbed in for O.J. Mayo. Here's Monroe. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot.
I think everyone knew the Bucks were much improved last season.
Yeah, I know that.
But to
Put
see
the link in your bio.
the middle of the playoff picture, I think that took everybody by surprise.
Now here's Rondo. Trying to find McLemore. Gets it to him. At the elbow, it's Cousins.
I see your video.
And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Milwaukee leading by 6. Parker. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and it seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
The Bucks making a switch here. Carter Williams is checked in.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Now here's McLemore. John Rondo missing his last shot. And the foul called on Vasquez. That is his first foul of the game. The Kings making a switch here. Cauley Stein's checked in. Now here's Rondo.
I ain't even gonna shoot that bitch. I'm in the perfect.
And, you know, we'll never really know the full details of why Malone was fired, but the effect it had on the team was easy to see. Kings really tailspinned out of control afterward.
Timeout called by the Kings.
You know, the Kings, I think, will look back and realize they made a dubious decision the way they handled that coaching change. I mean, lucky for them, they were able to right things, so to speak, by landing George Karl later on. Clearly one of the better coaches in NBA history.
Lets it fly from 18. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a lot of times you don't know why. It takes a little while to work the knots out, but it looks like they're putting it together right now.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
And I think it's fair to say last season was a bit of a transition year for the Kings. I mean, after firing Malone and the injuries to their stars, they just tried to build for the future, realizing that was going to be in their best interest.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. And the Kings last year were able to get George Karl to lead the team. A good hire for them. This team did decent under him back in the last half of the season.
Yeah, they still got a lot of work to do, but he can certainly make it happen. From one of the outstanding coaches in our league. The Kings actually were in it for a while last year, but then had a mini. And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that.
And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Middleton. Middleton's got 3 assists now in this one.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
McLemore laid in with a nice touch off the glass. McLemore's got 8 points.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Carter Williams kicks to Vasquez. It's deflected, and they'll keep possession. That's good. Middleton's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Yeah, and it should help them increase their separation here. I mean, this has been an impressive offensive output.
And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. Middleton's got 5 points now this quarter. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Well, Milwaukee last year became just the 9th team in NBA history to go from Greg being the worst in the league to a playoff team.
Unbelievable what they accomplished. And they had a tough matchup in the first round with the playoff season Bulls, however. Things didn't go well, but they did get some valuable experience from that effort.
A platoon swap here for Milwaukee. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Kufis checked in for Cousins. Caspi comes in for Cauley-Stein. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Rudy Gay. And it's Collison in for McLemore.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback. Well, as you said, guys, I mean, the Bucks struggled early in their series against the Bulls, but they got the momentum and forced a game 6, but then were blown out at home to end the series. Ended up losing by 54. That's right, 54. Wow.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Sacramento grabs the miss. And up the court come the Kings on the break. Here's Rondo. And so that brings the first half to a close. Bucks lead by 13. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
This is my favorite part right here.
And we welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. And there's certain to be some great basketball ahead for us. You have to like what we're seeing from Jabari Parker.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Have to like what we're seeing from Jabari Parker.
Just a dominating performance in the post by him so far. Just tearing them to shreds when he gets it inside.
Yeah, and getting it to him is the only hard part, fellas. I mean, once he has it, he's automatic. Forget about it. He can do work down there.
The second half is underway, and here's who George Karl's got on the floor. McLemore and Gay on the perimeter. DeMarcus Cousins out there with Quincy Ace. And it's Rondo in at the point. Gay passes to Rondo. Kicks it out to Gay. There's the triple. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists now in this one. Antetokounmpo dishes to Monroe. The shot no good. Nice D from Cousins.
And Jason Kidd has seen a lot of things in his first few years of coaching. Already changed teams once, and they had some personnel issues, but you cannot deny that he knows how to get the most out of his team.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And with Kidd, the results on the floor, Greg, speak for themselves. He knows what he wants out of his players, Clark, and he keeps them accountable.
And, you know, having that accountability is what made the Bucks so much better last season. Kidd is still a very young head coach, but I tell you what, he's shown me a bright future in that capacity for himself.
Vasquez, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. Gay with the block.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Parker with the steal. Here's Vasquez. And the rejection by Cousins. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cousins. Milwaukee with the ball. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And McLemore kicks to Curry. McLemore with the ball. Now defended by Carter Williams. Antetokounmpo against Gay. 5 to shoot. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. The Kings have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year. But just a tad worse, so not too bad.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Caspi comes in for DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Collison in for Ben McLemore.
And the Kings last season struggled with just about everybody. And the Eastern Conference was no different. Just couldn't get the wins they needed to keep pace in their conference.
Clark, the Kings last season only 11 wins in 30 games against the Eastern Conference. So he had more out of the conference wins than the Wolves last season. That was not a good number.
Yeah, and the Kings didn't have a winning record against any Eastern Division either. So you can't make up ground in the West if you can't beat the teams in the East.
Jared Bayless has checked in for the Bucks. And a change for Sacramento. Bellinelli's checked in. Milwaukee making a switch here.
How about this run of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead?
Has been an unreal turn of credit to the defense right along with what they did on offense, because the defense actually gave them the spark they needed.
And Bayless Hansen to the middle. He's looking for Bayless and finds him. And the shot is good. Bayless has got his second bucket. Doubled by Henson. To the middle. Here's Caspi. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling. That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Timeout called by the Kings. Bucks are a strong team last year at home to start the year, certainly. The whole league was marveling at their start. Much improved, Greg, from the season before, but fell off, Greg, a touch late in the season.
And, Kevin, credit Jason Kidd. I mean, he got this team off to that great start, particularly at home, and they built some confidence, and that helped propel them into the playoffs. Sad to say they were still near the bottom of the league, though, in attendance.
A different look from Milwaukee. Miles Plumlee comes in for Parker, and it's Mayo in for Vasquez. The Kings also at the sub. Kufis checked in for Cauley-Stein. The Kings trail by 8.
Got the Bucks ended, guys, with a 23-18 record at home. Really impressive for a young team. They didn't have the largest margin of victory because they won a lot of close games here at the Bradley Center.
Pass to Henson. He dishes it to Plumlee. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Bucks lead by 8.
Heads-up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Bellinelli for 3. Plumlee with the rebound.
And one thing that made the Bucks so strong at home was their three-pointers. They're the top in three-point percentage here at home, and easy to get the crowd into it when you knock a couple down from deep. Didn't have any problem knocking that one down. Another defensive lapse leading to 2 more.
11 feet away. That's in, and the Milwaukee lead is cut down to 8. Again, and the points coming from Collison. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Antetokounmpo kicks to Henson. To the inside. Passes it to Caspi. Collison against Antetokounmpo. To the inside. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And here's Mayo from beyond the arc. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Bucks ahead. They lead by 8. And we'll get going after this from the BMO Harris Bradley Center. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Bucks leading by 8. Jabari Parker is up there with Chris Middleton. Then it's Mayo. Then there's Monroe. And it's Carter Williams in at the 1 spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. And finished off by Gay.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
The 9-foot shot. Another shot. That's tipped.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
Rondo is doubled. There's the dish to Cousins. Here's Cauley-Stein. Shot is no good. The Bucks go the other way with it. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And Parker with the basket on the assist from Carter Williams. 14 points for Jabari Parker.
I love the killer instinct he shows right there, exploding to the rim to add to the lead.
Fast break, Milwaukee. Mayo's running. Parker's shot is off.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Here's Cousins. Connects from three-point range.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
You know, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you've played, and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes make some adjustments.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, Kevin. Jason Kidd had some words for his team over that last break. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Onda Takumbo kicks to Monroe. And stolen by Cousins. And he lobs it up. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And, guys, anytime it's real tight, you're looking for something that could be potentially a momentum builder. And that's exactly what that play looks to be.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Cousins, the pass to Ace. Kicks it to Gay. 6 to shoot. Here's Cousins. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
Darren Collison, he's checked in for Rajon Rondo. Middleton outside. To the paint. Banked in off the glass. And now it's an 8-point Milwaukee lead. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for Milwaukee?
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
Gay with the block. At the elbow, it's Cousins. Now here's McLemore outside. The rebound by Middleton.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Bucks.
Clark, this was a physical game.
Yeah, but the awareness they had offensively to penetrate really was the difference.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Parker. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Monroe. John Henson comes in for Jabari Parker. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Chris Middleton. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Michael Carter-Williams. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Kuvas checked in for Cousins. Caspi comes in for Quincy Acey. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Rudy Gay. And Curry subbed in for Ben McLemore.
And that should be enough to get the job done, even though he didn't get all of them.
Out of bounds, Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession. Back to Curry. There's the screen. Pass to Bellinelli. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Good, and Curry gets the assist.
What a final quarter these guys are having from downtown, just burying the threes in bunches.
And they might as well keep going back to the well. No reason not to. I mean, work that perimeter. It's going good for you. Work it until it stops.
Sacramento with the ball. Trailing here by 8. Bellinelli. The kick out to Collison. Caspi for three. Can't get it to go. Mayo. It's off. So it's Milwaukee picking up the win.
For 1 year with the champion Golden State Warriors at $5 million. Josh Eustace back to O'Brien. Fake 3, 2.